Distribution and warehousing network manufacturers and distributes hardware, sanitary ware, plumbing, kitchen, engineering and civil products sourced through more than 2,500 suppliers in South Africa, sub-Saharan Africa and the Indian Ocean Islands. Dawn has a market cap of 1.5 billion rand and of course a price to earnings ratio of around 29, and a company which geographically has a fantastic footprint. Janine.
No, definitely. Dawn is pretty much an acquisitive company. I think that's where it has its roots.
Across Africa, and this is what's really interesting about this company.
But what you need to understand as well is that in terms of networking, it's got its own distribution channel through the services division. So in good times, it adds to the bottom line, which helps the distribution channel. But in bad times, if the volumes aren't there, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter where you're going. That's gonna impact your company negatively even more. So if you've got an internal distribution channel, even with your national footprint.
No, it's quite an interesting company, as you said, fairly modest in size, 1.5 billion rand. It distributes these, stuff like baths, toilets, taps, pipes, plugs, all that kind of thing across the industry.
So very related
through all
to
these
residential
building warehouse
as well.
type places. Yeah, but they do have an infrastructure division. They also manufacture those big infrastructure pipes that are used to supply a new water main and that kind of thing. They actually hoovered up quite a lot of old industrial businesses in that space over the last couple of decades, and the CEO, Derek Todd, did quite a good job of it in the beginning part of this century, and things were looking good. They got into some trouble though in 08-09 with the collapse in the building sector. They ended up with some quite severe balance sheet issues, and they had to do a pretty enormous equity raise in 2009. At around 7.20 rand, and remember they trade now at 6.25 rand. They have picked up from around 4 rand. So it's on a 29 PE, but the reason it is because the results were quite poor. They were actually really battling up until recently, and now people are beginning to think, okay, well, if they can make what they're making in the current reporting period, then we need to start putting them on a more suitable rating. So I think the sector will turn, and they have some scope to really jack up sales once home improvements and home building starts to pick up, because we know that got totally overexcited in the 07-08 period. All of the big cities had these new suburbs around them being developed in the middle income market.
Absolutely, so more of a normalization that is occurring. 40,000 products sourced, 2,500 suppliers, Janine, 12,000 customers. I mean, they've really got a very wide scope that we're looking at.
We are looking at a wide scope, but what we need to understand is that 60% of that is building supplies, which is the company, which is the part of that division that's actually being hurt the most at the moment. So the infrastructure division, which is more the pipes and the engineering equipment being sold into the mining industry, that is the part that's showing the growth. So sometimes it hurts you having all that product ranges, because you're looking at across the board where some of it doesn't sell in terms of the high margin, high end products, because people are downscaling and they're migrating to lower end products.
And of course taking out capacity within the business, which has helped a lot. So hot or not for you then, Janine?
At the moment, not.
Not hot. Paul?
I quite like the way that they've adapted to the availability of cheap imports in Asia. So they kind of manufacture some taps and stuff, and the rest they source from Asia, and then they package it and distribute it. So I think they're quite well positioned, but I think the share price has already moved, and as I say, it is a company that's had very patchy earnings.
Janine, you didn't agree with something that Paul said. You're shaking your head.
No, not at all. No,
right,
not at all.
I'm listening. I thought, great, we're gonna fight with Theron tonight.
We're not going to fight.
So I think
hot or not, Paul?
Yeah, no, I'm afraid it's a bit lukewarm at current levels. I'd prefer to see if they can turn, although obviously if they do perform well, then the share price will move, and then it'll feel like a missed opportunity.